It's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. But before I begin, I want to say that may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I want to thank who have helped me on my journey and very influential, and I wanted you to have their names. And also below this video I will have links to their sites so you can check them out as well. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rav Alona Nava, Rav Daniel Asor, Yuval Ovadia, try to remember everyone, and Nisim Baruch Black. So the topic for today is called Watch Out for Any Pitfalls. So this is some information from this wonderful book that I've shared with you before. If you can see that, it might be a little dark. Lilmod U'Li'Lamed. It's a little dark, getting a little shadow there. There we go. And that I read every week based on the Parasha, on the that we read, the portion that we read for Shabbat, and it has different insights and interpretations, and I love reading from it. And I'll have a link to, well, not a link actually, I don't know if they have a website, but the name of it, so you can check it out if you can get this. So it's based on the Parasha that we just finished, Parasha Vo'eschanan. So one of the things it says in there, all the days of your life. So Hashem says, you should fear Hashem to keep His statutes and His commandments, which I commanded you and your son and your son's sons all the days of your life. So why does it say this? Why does it end with that? It seems like it's wrong, but nothing in the Torah is extra or done improperly. So why does it say all the days of your life afterwards? And so what is the reason? It was done deliberately to impress upon us an important concept. Never, even after your grandchildren are born and you're nearing the end of your days, take your adherence to Judaism for granted. As our sages said, do not be sure of yourself until the day of your death. That's in Pirkei Avos, chapter 2, 4th verse. If you're not constantly vigilant, excuse my, that's like dyslexic, vigilant about your religious observance, you may stray from the Torah's path. You may innocently experiment with lifestyles alien to Yiddishkeit just to sample the opposition and come to abandon Judaism, which is what happened to Yochanan Kohen Gadol, who was devout all his life, and then towards the end he unfortunately strayed. So to give another example of this, avoiding a pitfall, this is why I'm saying this, because yes, you may say, oh, I'm religious all my life, and then you start looking at other things and it's okay, and you kind of get more relaxed about things, but you really can't do that. So there was a rabbi, Rabbi Yisrael Rizhin. He was traveling in a carriage and encountered another rabbi, Rabbi Meir. So the first rabbi had a carriage pulled by 4 horses, and the other one, Rabbi Meir, had one with just 1. So Rabbi Yisrael said to him, oh, well, maybe I should come help you out, because I have 4. So as far as me getting stuck would be, I'd have a less of a chance. But Rabbi Meir said, no. On the contrary, I should be offering you help because I only have 1 horse. So what does this mean? I am more careful about coming near any ditches. You, on the other hand, might feel very secure with your 4 horses and may take the necessary precautions, may not take the necessary precautions to drive carefully. So the idea is, because the first rabbi, Rabbi Yisrael, had 4 horses, he may not pay attention so much that there might be ditches in the road. Whereas Rabbi Meir, since he only has 1 horse, he's going to be much more careful. So what is this saying? What's the mashal, the example on the nimshal? What are we supposed to learn from this? Rabbi Meir observation can help us as we travel down the path of life. We should never become so confident about our way of living that we do not watch out for any pitfalls that may appear. So, just like they say, the greater in I guess it's, I don't know if it's Missionary or Gemara, it says in Sukkah 52, the greater the person, the greater his evil impulse. Like the greater you get, the harder it is to overcome the evil, the Yetzer Hara, because he works harder. He every little thing that you do. So the idea here is that don't be so sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You have to be really, really strong. You have to not let anything or anyone give you the idea that it's okay to violate something in the Torah. Like some people would say, Well, I practice the Torah differently. What do you mean differently? There's one Torah, there's one way, there's one Hashem. You can't say I practice it differently than you do. Well, then you're not following the Torah. There's only Hashem gave us one Torah. He gave us 613 mitzvos, and that's what we have. And you can't say I'm gonna just create my own, basically, Torah. I mean, then you're not living according to the Torah. Being Torah observant means following what Hashem says. And yes, we all have difficulties, we all have challenges. There's many things we're trying to work on, our characters, our midos, and it's not easy. It's so easy because I shouldn't say it's so easy, it's not easy. We get tested all the time, and it's difficult, and we have challenges, and I'm just like everybody else. So everything I say here applies to me 100%. I'm not saying this just for other people. I'm saying this for myself because I also have to learn to work on myself as well, and to try to get better, and to try to be more open to things and compromise, and realizing that there's always two sides to everything. And yes, we have to kind of give and take, but it isn't always easy because sometimes you're put in the position where you're tested. Hashem gives you such a strong nisayon, such a strong test, and you're like, oh Hashem, I failed. Like, what am I supposed to do? Why? I need to look at this differently with a clearer picture. Say, okay, what are my options, and how can we help each other instead of, the idea is we're supposed to help each other. We're supposed to complement. We're not supposed to be so conflicting. So complement instead of conflict. I think that's a good way to put it. So the idea is, don't think that you're not going to stray, because look, Yochanan Kohen Gadol, he was devout his whole life, and towards the end he went and he joined an irreligious group. So imagine this, a great high priest of the Beis HaMikdash, if he was capable of going down in the level and not observing things, and basically destroyed his Olam Haba, of course, his world to come. So imagine us, we're not even at his level. We can't even imagine what that means. But the idea is, as soon as you start thinking, even thinking about it in your head, like, well, maybe I'll try a little, it's not so bad. That happens is that's the temptation. Who is that's talking to you? That's the Yetzer Hara. Whereas the Yetzer Torah is trying to tell you, no. The Yetzer Hara is trying to tell you, it's okay, nothing will happen, you'll be fine, don't worry. But that's the idea. We have to not allow that. And one thing I want to say is, I heard this from Rabbi Mizrahi, that what happens is towards the end of your life, the Yetzer Hara tries to influencing you to like say you're going to give up the Torah if you add more years to your life. So what he says that you do way before that you could do it even now is say, Hashem, when it comes time for me to pass from this world, if I say anything against you and the Torah, it's not true. Don't listen to me. Don't believe me. What I'm saying is not true. So you need to emphasize that do not accept what I say, because it's not true. But because the Yetzer Hara is there and you're between life and death, so to speak, well, not necessarily death, but passing on, you tend to want to hang on here. So you might say something like that because you're not really of the full capacity, in the physical world anymore. So you have to say, Hashem, no, anything I might say against you in the Torah, please do not accept it as truth. It is not true. Please do not accept it. So I just want to say in closing that I hope and pray that we all stay really strong and really connected to Hashem and the Torah and the mitzvos, and do not let anything pull us down. Really work on ourselves. Don't stray. And I know and I pray and I hope that with all of us doing that, we will merit to live and to see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days, and the rebuilding of our everlasting Beis HaMikdash. Thanks for watching.